Good morning, everyone. We have already learned about the principles of scientific management. Now we are going to start with the techniques of scientific management. Remember, there is a difference between principles and techniques. Principles are just the general guidelines for decision making and actions on the part of managers. On the other hand, techniques are the practical application of the logical thinking of the logical plans or the best methods which we have searched. So let us now learn about the techniques, that is how logically, how skillfully, how in a sequential manner the practical application of our plans could be done. We are going to start with the technique of functional foremanship in this module, and then we'll continue with the technique of standardization of work. So let us start with the functional foremanship. Functional foremanship was given as told to you already that scientific management techniques and principles are given by F.W. Taylor. So all the techniques are given by Taylor. As per the Taylor, the concept of functional foremanship is an extended part of division of work and specialization. Once the work is divided and it is carried on by a particular person for a longer period of time, we achieve specialization, and this is the extension of specialization and division of work. As per the functional foremanship, it advocates the separation of planning and its execution. That is, a factory manager will have two in charges working under him. One would be the in charge for planning, another would be the in charge for production. And under the planning in charge, four experts will work on planning of a worker. Under the production in charge also, four experts will work. It means that a factory manager will take care of two in charges, planning in charge, production in charge, who will further carry out the plans done by the four different supervisors, that is four subordinates working under the planning in charge and four subordinates working under the production in charge. So over a worker there would be 8 in charges, 4 in charges for planning, 4 in charges for practical application of the planning, that is task of production. Let us further understand. As per this technique of functional foremanship, it identifies the list of qualities of a good foreman or a supervisor. It suggests the concept of functional foremanship through 8 persons. As I told you, above a worker, 8 persons, 8 bosses will be guiding him, will be taking care of him. So, under the technique of scientific management, 4 specialists will work under in the planning department this way. 4 specialists are working under the planning department and other 4 specialists are working under the production department. Now what are these specialists doing? What are their functions? What are their tasks? Under the planning department, first specialist is the route clerk. Route means the way we are going to adopt, the sequence we are going to adopt. So basic work of a task of a route clerk is to ensure proper sequence of activities for completing a particular task. So above a worker, route clerk will decide and ensure that proper sequence is followed. Second in charge is instruction card clerk. The work of the instruction card clerk is to prepare and hand over the instruction card of the workers to the gang boss. So as per the route clerk, he will ensure the proper sequence of the work, and instruction card clerk will guide and give the instructions about the task to be done and how it is to be done. So orders or instructions would be planned by the instructions card clerk. Third boss under the planning in charge is the time and cost clerk. He plans and decides the time to start and finish a particular task and the cost at which the product would be produced. So basic planning work of deciding about the time and the expenditure or the cost is the work of time and cost clerk. Fourth boss under the planning in charge is the disciplinarian. He is also known as discipline officer. he ensures maintenance of proper discipline in the performance of every task by the worker. So these are the four people, four subordinates who work under the planning in charge. That is route clerk to decide about the sequence of the work. Secondly, instruction card clerk who prepares the instructions for the workers. Third is time and cost clerk who plans about the starting and finishing of the task, the time regarding the initialization and the completion of the task, as well as he decides about the costs to be incurred. Disciplinarian or the discipline officer, he ensures that proper discipline is maintained in the performance of the work. So all these four people, all these four clerks, all these four people, these superiors will work for planning of a worker. So these are the four people working under the planning in charge above the workers. Next are the specialists who are working as specialists of the production department, and let us learn about their functions. Now these four bosses will see the practical application of the plans given by the planning in charges. First is the gang boss. Gang boss ensures that workers are fit to do a task. Machines are properly available. That is, man and material, machinery and human resources are fit for production. Availability of material is easily there, and the workers required are fit to do any particular task. So gang boss takes care of the maintenance of machinery, the availability of machinery, availability of raw material, availability of skilled workers too. This is the task of gang boss. Second specialist is the speed boss. He ensures, he checks the performance of the workers by all the as per the required speed. Now see, the time and cost clerk decided about the standard time of starting and completion of task. Now who will take care that this task was done timely? That is the work of a speed boss. So practical application of planning department is done in the production department. Third boss is the repair boss. He ensures that proper maintenance of machines and tools. See, gang boss ensured the availability of machines and tools, and repair boss will check out that these machines and tools are in working condition. If not, they need to be replaced or they need to be repaired. Fourth boss is the inspector. Inspector inspects the produced products and initiates corrective action in case of unfavorable results. So he keeps a check on every type of the production activities. He takes the corrective actions, and in case the results are deviating, he takes care of that. So over one worker, there are 8 bosses. 4 bosses are working for his planning, and other 4 bosses are taking care of his practical application of the task. This is the technique of functional foremanship. I hope this is clear to you. Now second technique of scientific management which we are going to start is standardization of work. This simply means that maintain specific standards for everything. Standardization means keeping the standards for different factors after due deliberation. These are the benchmarks, these are the targets that must be adhered to while the production activities are taking place. This leads to the basic objectives of the standardization work is the reduction of line of product to fixed types, sizes and characteristics. Everything should be standardized. What will be the size of product? How many types of products would be produced? What would be the features and characteristics of the product? Everything will be decided in advance. It also establishes the interchangeability of manufactured parts and products. Now, many times students get confused in this line. What do we mean by interchangeability of manufactured parts? See, suppose you are using a pen of a particular company, and the refill finishes off. So manufactured a pen has different parts, that is cover of the pen, cap of the pen, refill of the pen. If refill finishes, will you be able to replace that? Yes, it means manufactured part could be replaced in case of urgency. Similarly, when we talk about electronic products, let us take an example of a washing machine. Suppose the pipe of a washing machine destroys, the draining pipe of the washing machine destroys. Will you be able to get this manufactured part, or you will have to buy the entire machine again? No. You can easily get the manufactured part. This is called standardization. So products are standardized, and this standardization is done in such a manner that it establishes the interchangeability of manufactured parts or the products itself. These established benchmark, that is the targets of performance of the employees, machines, quality of raw material, everything is standardized. For making the product, what type of raw material should be used, that should be standardized. What employees or what would be the skills and talents of the employees, that is also pre-decided. So standards are always decided. These standards are further categorized into 4 parts, that is, machines should be standardized, materials should be standardized, methods should be pre-decided and standardized, and working conditions even should be standardized. Let us see them one in detail one by one. Now, standardization of material means that raw materials should be provided as per the required quality of the finished products. For example, when you consume, let us suppose you consume biscuits. Let's say you purchased 4 packets of Oreo biscuits. Are they different from each other? No, they are all same because they are standardized. Now, while producing these biscuits, the raw material used for producing these biscuits was same for each packet. This is standardization of raw material. Similarly, everything is already standardized, and same type of product, same type of material, same quality of material is used for manufacturing same type of the products or for any particular brand of the product. Second is standardizations of machines and tools. This means provision of required quantity and the type of machines and tools to produce the desired finished products. I need a packet of biscuit in hand. I need a packet of Oreo in hand. Or I want to purchase any standardized shoes. What does it mean? That the machine and the material required for purchasing, required for producing different types of the product, that all the materials and tools also should be same. If I want to buy 10 pens, suppose, all those 10 pens of one company, of one standard, they will all be same, they will all be similar to each other. This is standardization because we use the same tools, we use the same machine for producing 1 pen or 100 pens. This is called standardization of machines. So we use standardized materials, and then we use standardized machines and tools. Third is standardization of method. Now, while producing, which method are we using? Are we using a separate method for producing one packet of biscuit and a different method of producing second type of biscuits or second packet of biscuit? No. For producing one packet or for producing 1000 packets, we are using the same method. So, this is standardized method which is already devised, already designed by the manager, and further the practical application is taking place. Fourth standardization is the standardization of the working condition given to the employees in an organization. That is, they should the work area, workplace should be properly ventilated, there should be proper lights, cleanliness, safety of the employees. Entire working conditions are covered here. So standardization now means entire machines and tools should be standardized. Secondly, working conditions should be standardized. Then methods should be standardized, and also the materials should be standardized, so that whatever product is produced by the organization, that establishes the interchangeability of manufactured part and products. I hope that both these techniques of scientific management given by F.W. Taylor are clear to you. Thank you all. Have a nice day.